Hello, how are you? Welcome back to another episode of On the DL. My name is Danielle.
And I'm Linda.
Hello, hi, what's up? What's going on? Tell me everything.
Not a whole lot. Like, what's going on in my life? Like, nothing. Like, my life is so fucking boring. I have no updates anymore.
I don't believe that, if I'm going to be completely frank, but that's okay. We don't have to share all of our lives here on this podcast. I guess that's my job, to be the professional oversharer, which is totally fine with me.
The professional oversharer.
That's me.
I kind of like that.
Well,
I'm like terrified to overshare. I'm like, no.
I want everyone to know. Please know everything. I think
that's the shit that keeps me up at night. Do you ever like lay in bed and you think to yourself, you're like, I probably shouldn't have said that at 2:00 on that one Friday. I'd be thinking about that shit.
No, I wish I said more. I wish I fucking said it, and then I wish I said it with my whole chest is really what I wish.
Okay, never mind.
We're not doing that anymore in the year of our Lord 2024.
I'm screaming.
I'm not doing it anymore. I am not censoring myself for anybody. And I think that with this podcast, I feel like we kind of went off the rails a little bit. Not off the rails. I think we were just trying to be a little bit too
professional, and I'm over it.
A little bit too in the box, a little bit too like everyone else. And I actually had a conversation with Linda about this today. And I was like, let's get back to the roots. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's a little messy. I don't know. But it's...
You know what? I like messy because you know what? Messy is like, I thrive.
I do too.
It just makes me happy when I can just say whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah. So we're this usually our podcasts are pretty unscripted. The last few have been pretty scripted because like we've had themes, or we've had something that we've had to do some serious research on, and we're gonna like kick our shoes off and like lay back and kind of just have a little armchair psychology session.
Well, because that's why I feel like our old episodes were like a little sprinkling of mental health, a little sprinkling of they might be mental, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like so all over the place that you didn't know what you were gonna get per episode, but what you did know is that you're gonna laugh. It's gonna be funny.
Yep.
You're gonna learn a few things, and yeah, I'm super. Like you, literally, Danielle said to me today, she was like, we need to go back to our roots. I'm like, amazing. Because this is exactly how I was feeling. That is like one thing that I love about us. It's like, we're always on the same page.
Yeah.
We like low-key share a brain.
Kind of. I was like, I'm getting a little bored. Like, let's figure it out. Let's get back to all of that. And I know it's a little bit different for me now since I'm like not really in the dating scene as much as I was when I first started this podcast.
We were also unhinged.
I mean, I've never not been.
We recorded those episodes drunk.
Maybe we should start bringing cocktails into the studio. I'm sure they would love it.
Oh my God, that would be...
Maybe next week. So this week is kind of like we're doing a check-in. There's some things that I do want to talk about. There's like a couple questions that I want to ask. And then I'm going to ask a couple questions to people that are listening so I can kind of research it for next week. Because next week is going to be like our mental health check-in.
Yes.
And I think we're going to do those once a month. I think that's like a really good idea.
I love mental health check-ins. Whether it's about like relationships or just like personal journeys or whatever. Thrive on those. I need them.
Yeah. So maybe we can start giving you guys some tools to like check in on with yourselves.
And like who said that you and I had any right to give anybody
no business giving anyone tools? Hello.
Any advice on fucking mental health?
Well, I mean, I've been on a journey now for over a year.
That is one thing we are blessed with, is the ability to like that is one thing we are so... Like, I become very intellectual when I start talking about mental health. I have a PhD.
As she like fixes the glasses.
Like, I fix the glasses. I have a PhD in mental health.
Well, I definitely, what is that? We're going to call it trickle down therapy, where I like take what I get from my therapist and just like sprinkle it around everyone else.
Literally everybody.
Just like help.
Take whatever you want. You don't have to take all of it.
Exactly.
Take a few things.
Take what resonates with you. I think that's how we're going to
take nothing. Maybe it's just fun to watch two unhinged humans talk about mental health.
I very much think that it is.
No, I love it.
It is a whole situation.
Absolutely.
But what I wanted to talk about today, we're going to start with something that is like when I tell you I was like shocked when I was reading these articles, like,
wait, I miss when you would give us like, what was it? Like the article of the day or like
well, yeah, when there's something going on. Yeah,
news.
the breaking news.
Yeah,
The
I miss
breaking
this.
news. Well, because I followed like the strikes and all that. And I think we're gonna get back in on that because there's some things where I'm like, what? What?
Are you going to talk about Kate Middleton?
About Cake Middleton? No, I actually don't.
Is she actually missing?
Listen, from what
I heard she's
understand,
in surgery.
that I heard she had abdominal surgery.
What does that
and
mean? Abdominal surgery?
We don't know.
for
Maybe
what?
she had lipo. I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe she had some ribs removed. From what I understand, and this is just like from me hearing blind items from different, various sources, is that, Prince William likes to philander, which, I mean, apple doesn't fall far from the tree, kids. And apparently he got one of the mistresses pregnant and she's keeping it. This is what I hear.
Get the fuck out.
So she had like a mental breakdown. This is what I'm hearing. That's why she's in hiding. She's not coming out. But I don't know. This is all secondhand, thirdhand, blind item sources.
I love those
I like
better
that, though.
than the news.
Well, because the news is lying to us. We all know this.
I kind of Googled it the other day and I was like, okay, what is this? Because I'm over here sending memes about it, but I have no idea what the hell is actually happening.
No one's seen her since like Christmas.
Yeah. So then I was like, and then I just kept reading how Meghan Markle tried to reach out to her and she was like, no, like completely deaded that. And I was like, that's weird. I was like, and then they're like abdominal surgery. I'm like, try again. Since Christmas?
Did she
abdominal
have
surgery?
Well, maybe she had an ulcer because he was having all those affairs.
He's a hoe.
But we already knew that.
Yeah, no, we knew that.
Also, ew.
Ew, wah.
Ew.
Ew, wah.
Gross.
So gross.
So no, I wasn't going to talk about Kate Middleton. What I was going to talk, this is stateside here in the US of A, in New York City. So apparently,
The greatest city in the world.
Is it?
No, it's just disgusting. But
Yeah.
continue.
So apparently in the subway, there's been a rash of random acts of violence.
Oh yeah, didn't somebody like shoot somebody at like point blank, like in the
people
head?
People are getting fucking buck wild in the subway stations, on the subway. People are just like beating each other up, getting crazy. So the governor of New York said, okay, we're going to like tighten up security. So in addition to the NYPD being, walking their beat, going down into the subway, they're going to have armed National Guards.
Yeah, where the fuck were they this past weekend?
I don't know, but apparently that's the plan. I don't know if it's all in place yet or what. Now, this particular act of violence was not random.
Okay.
This was a man and his girlfriend on the subway platform, and he said on the 3 train.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it was going to Brooklyn.
Okay.
I think. I probably should remember what I just
I've
read.
been on the subway once in my entire life.
I don't
and
do the
never
subway.
again.
I'm scared.
I'd rather not.
I don't know
I'll
how.
overpay for an Uber. I don't care. I'm not getting a
I
subway.
completely agree with that because I don't know. I don't get it. They're like, you're going north or south or uptown. I'm like, what does that mean? Which
Yeah,
way
like what
am
are
I
you
going?
talking about?
I would get lost. I'd probably end up somewhere out that I should
Oh,
not
I'd be crying.
Yeah, so I don't do the subway. But anyway, so I guess this couple was arguing on the subway platform. And he got so heated that he pushed her right onto the tracks. And there was an oncoming train. She got hit by the train. Survived.
She survived?
She survived. And I was watching like the body cam footage of like the first responders. It was so stressful. They stopped the train obviously because she got hit. She was in between 2 subway cars. Okay. And they were able to talk to her. They were like on the platform, like, you could see them like with their heads like in between like the train and the platform, and you can hear her. It's like heartbreaking. She's like, am I gonna die? Am I gonna die? And the guy's like, you're not dying. You're not dying on my watch.
Oh my God.
Like,
I
honestly,
just got
first
chills.
responders, like fucking like hats off, kudos, like keeping your composure in a situation like that where you're like, no,
It
you're
takes
going
a
to
very
be fine.
special person.
It
to be
really,
a first
really,
responder.
really does. And one of the first responders, one of the EMTs, had to go to the front of the train, crawl under the train
God.
because they
Like
could
army crawl.
crawl under the train because she was trapped under there. So they were like, okay, we need to like see what the hell's going on, right? They go under, and he saw that like she lost both of her feet. So like one of her legs got amputated below the knee, the other one got amputated above the knee. But he had to crawl under to see like what are we working with, like what's happening. So he crawled under to put the tourniquets on her legs so she wouldn't bleed out while they tried to pull her out from under the train cars. Okay. So thankfully they were able to get her out from under the car. They, brought her to Bellevue Hospital. She was in critical condition. She got her legs amputated, which is like, she's 29 years old.
Oh my God.
Heartbreaking shit here. And, she survived. Okay.
Yes.
So she's lucky to be alive, honestly.
100%.
Now this man, we're going to talk about this man.
The one who pushed her?
Christian Valdez, his name is. This man, and this is where it starts to get like real seedy. Like I'm confused as to why he was even out of prison. Mm-hmm. This man in 2017. Now, to me, like all the articles that hello, all the articles that I read, it was unclear as to who this person was in relation to him in 2017. I don't know if it was like a girlfriend or if it was someone that just like took pity on this man or whatever. She actually met him and invited him to her church. She's like, no, just like come to church with me. Her and her 4-year-old daughter. Okay.
Oh my God. This story just is loaded. But continue.
It really, it just gets worse. Like I can't even this is, 7 years now, 2017, right?
Yeah.
I guess she was going to church with him and they were like friends or maybe dating. I'm not 100% sure because like those articles I kept on trying to go back.
Yeah.
And it kept on wanting me to like get a subscription. I was like, oh, can I just like read the news without
like
having to pay for it? Like, hello.
Yeah. What the fuck? Let me just go on TikTok. Fuck it.
Well, yeah. Well, I did. I tried to go on TikTok, but it was like, again, very vague because it was like, so long ago where we're talking about the story that's going on, in 2024.
Yeah.
So apparently this man, after having some sort of relationship with this woman, breaks into her apartment. Now she lived in the Bronx, 3rd floor, high rise, not like high rise, but like 3rd floor of an apartment building that had fire escape.
Okay.
So apparently he like kicked the door down. All right. And she's like, what the fuck? And ran out. She's like, I knew I needed to get out of the apartment. So I went to the fire escape. He followed her out into the fire escape, stabbed her twice.
Oh my God.
Like had the 4-year-old little daughter like by her neck. She was trying to fight him off. He slashed her arm. She still has a scar. And he threatened to throw her off the balcony. This man is clearly unhinged. Clearly not well mentally, right?
Oh my God.
One of the neighbors actually stepped in and got him and the cops were called and he went to prison, right?
Right.
Got sentenced in 2020. So he had already served a few years in prison, got sentenced to 8 years for the aggravated assault of the 2 people. He got released in January of 2023, paroled, right?
Okay.
So if he was supposed to serve 8 years, so even if he had 3 years served plus another, so he probably served 6 years of his 8-year sentence. And I have like questions about how you even get out on parole when you're that fucking crazy and violent. But like, whatever.
That's a whole different story.
That's a whole other situation. Got out of prison. And in December of 2023, now again, this is like another vague kind of account because like I couldn't find an actual article on this story. He tried to murder another girlfriend in December of 2023.
Oh my God.
That's a parole violation. Hello, a parole violation. Hello.
Why aren't you back in jail?
Yes.
Pick his ass up. What the fuck?
Then removes it because he had an ankle monitor because he was on parole, right?
Yeah.
Removed his ankle monitor in, January of 2024. And they get notices when your ankle monitor is fucked with.
Wait, hold on. So this happens in December. January, he takes it off.
Yeah.
But they don't know.
Or was it January? Yeah. Well, whatever. Okay, now they're telling me to get a subscription again. Stop doing that. Anyway, he did remove, where was it? Maybe February. I don't know.
Okay, whatever.
He removes the ankle monitor.
Well, they took it off after the incident.
Yes.
Okay.
So they knew where he was when he was trying to murder that girl in December. I shouldn't be laughing. This is not funny at all, but like, I'm just so like, what?
beside myself.
So he removes the ankle monitor. They get a notification saying, yo, this guy's fucking with his ankle monitor. And they go to visit him and they're like, what are you doing? Like, don't be doing that. So somehow in between them visiting him saying, don't fuck with your ankle monitor, and then him getting fitted for a new one, because apparently it's a thing you have to get fitted for.
Mm-hmm.
That's when he pushed his girlfriend off the subway platform. And then,
oh my God, the same one he tried to kill.
Yeah. Well, no, I think this is a different girlfriend.
How are these girls?
I don't know.
How?
I don't know. I don't understand.
I'm so confused.
That's why I was like, hold on.
If you're dating somebody, I said this once before on the podcast, let's normalize doing a background check on the people you're fucking dating. Because you would have seen this man tried to kill a grown woman and her 4-year-old Bebe.
Yeah. Wanted to throw her off the damn balcony. Hello.
Oh my God. Okay, sorry.
Yes.
I'm
background
like
checks for anyone that you're about to start talking to. So then, he pushes the girl. She's stuck under the train. He runs. He flees the scene. He flees.
Did they ever get him the new the ankle?
Not before he flees. He fled. He's gone.
So he did this all in between.
Before he got the new one, right? And then flees to Newark, New Jersey, to where his niece lives, and is like hiding out at her place. But instead of like continuing to flee, he calls his parole officer and he's like, "Dog, I just pushed my girl off the subway platform." His parole officer's like, "Bro, you need to get back to New York. What are you doing? Come back here right now."
Yeah.
Comes back, turns himself in, and now he's currently in prison. I don't know if there's going to be, obviously, he's going back to jail.
Well, New York's literally stupid when it comes to the prison. Like, even if you've murdered somebody, it's like what's his name? That's coming out in May.
Oh, yeah.
Could be coming out in May. The Son of Sam. Fuck him.
Oh, thanks for reminding me. I need to put to put a little reminder on myself.
Yeah.
To see if he's going to go up for parole. Which also...
Then you have like people who are like serving 10 years because they were in possession of weed. Fuck you. New York's a shit show.
I have so many questions. Like, what do you do? Like, when you're coming out on parole, like, what do you have to just to do a little dance, like a little TikTok dance, and they let you out? Like, what are the rules?
Good behavior.
Is that what it is?
It's like good behavior. Of course. Also, like when you're in jail, and I'm going off of movies, and y'all know I don't watch movies.
I think we need to sit in on Ian's podcast and like, I want to know.
What the fuck is wrong with us?
What do you do?
We're literally hosted by a guy who has an entire podcast about jail.
I have questions. He's not here today, but I'm going to ask. No. I'm going to sit down with him and be like, can we please ask you some questions? I have so many.
I have so many questions.
So many. Wait, what was I saying?
Sorry.
Oh no, so clearly he probably had good behavior in jail, because you're in jail with a bunch of other men.
Yeah.
And all of his acts of violence have been against women.
So
women that are smaller than him, women that are not as strong as him, because he's like a big guy. I'll have to show you a picture. He's like a big guy.
I have nightmares.
So like he's probably just a big fucking bully.
Yeah.
And you can't act like that in jail, because you'll get fucked up.
Literally. Or fucked,
Both. Bro, you're someone's bitch in jail. And maybe he got out and was like, you know what? I'll make everyone my bitch. I'll make everyone else my bitch.
Like, obviously, there's something fucking wrong there. That's why you ended up there in the first place.
Yeah.
That poor girl.
There's so many. He terrorized many. I'm sure there's probably more. There's probably more women that he terrorized that just have either not come forward or not filed complaints.
He's probably buried people before. There's probably bodies that are going to turn up, and it was from him. Dude. I wouldn't put anything past that. Somebody who's capable of choking out a 4-year-old, you've killed somebody before. You've seen some shit. You've done some shit. You're not okay.
No.
I hope he goes away for a long time. But again, knowing New York, he probably won't.
He's going to be up for attempted murder, obviously, because he...
Twice.
Pushed someone onto the sub. She lost both of her legs, man. Like, how do you, like...
And he has no remorse. He doesn't give a fuck.
Well, I don't know. There hasn't been any interviews. Maybe he will have remorse. Maybe he'll have this interview where he's
and then they're
going
to be like, oh, let's only give him 5 years.
Ew.
Go fuck yourself. I hope somebody kills him in jail.
He threatened to throw a baby off the balcony. And
I hope they create a shank out of a fucking fork and stab him in jail. Kill him.
Catch him and kill him. So
fighting fire with fire.
This is my new
Current event.
This is my current event because like that one, like every
I
time I
don't-
read something,
yeah.
I was like, what do you mean he tried to kill someone else and he didn't go back to jail? What do you mean? That's
What
not a
the
parole
fuck?
violation.
Right.
Hello? You're trying to kill someone.
Literally, you tried to kill somebody,
What
and
the
then,
fuck?
but then you get in trouble. Hey, man, don't tamper with your ankle bracelet. But let's measure you. Let's make sure it fits perfect. Let's make sure it's comfortable.
Let's leave
And
him
then-
alone until we do that. What a thing.
What?
What?
What the fuck? There is so much that is wrong with that system.
Did they defund the police in New York City or New York
I
State?
think they tried to. I don't think it's gonna.
You don't think it worked? Okay.
I
Because
don't
like,
think so.
then I could be like, okay, well, they defunded them and that's why they're like, okay, we're just going to like let
I know
killers
that there
run
was.
rampant.
I don't think it's. I think it's more so like, if you see something really, really fucked up, you might want to turn the other way, kind of defunding. But I don't think they were like actually defunded. I think it was like defunding for new people, but the people who are grandfathered in for their pension, they're not getting defunded. They're
Then that-
promised that pension. They're not going anywhere.
Holy
And they're old as fuck and they're fat as fuck. Have you ever seen NYPD? Not all of them.
Not all cops. You better stop right now.
Not all cops. But most of those New York City cops are fat as fuck. They're not running
Yikes.
very far.
Oh my god.
They're always eating some kind of fucking Italian sub on the side of the street.
Not the Italian sub.
Don't come for me. This story pisses me off. Because they said, and then what I was saying before, somebody literally went up to somebody in the subway and shot him in the head. In the head. And it was right underneath a police precinct. Like that subway station was underneath a police station.
Oh, that's so bold.
He knew that they weren't going to do anything. He knew. They were like, we're sending marshals into the subway. No, you're not. No, you're not.
Did they send anyone into the subway?
Right. Fucking idiots. And you know who? I think somebody who had a gun on them ended up shooting at him. They killed him. He had his gun in his holster.
Not the holster. I like I said, I like just barely learned how to shoot a gun. I did it one time.
Mm.
And I was like sweating. I was so nervous.
Oh my God.
Guns
The
make me
first time I
nervous.
ever shot a gun, I remember the instructor was like, breathe. And I'm like, because I forgot that I wasn't breathing.
You're like,
I
I'm scared.
I was sweating. My palms were getting wet.
Yeah.
And I forgot to breathe.
Yep.
I was holding my breath. And as soon as like you pull the trigger, you're like, But, I mean, recreational purposes, it's fun. I'm not gonna go around and be like, oh, I'm gonna be Batman. You know what I mean? Save the city.
Can you imagine?
But yeah, I
Not
don't
with
know.
those
Oh my
little
God,
ones,
that's
that with all those kickbacks. I'm scared.
Okay, I shot a little tiny revolver one time. There was this little Asian woman that was standing next to me in the at the shooting range. Tiny little woman. And I'm small. I'm 5'3". This woman was significantly shorter than me. She was tiny. And she had this little tiny gun, you know? And I was just like, oh my God, cute. Little gun for little girl. You know? And then I said something and I was with my friend and her father. And I said that. I kind of like whispered it. And I was like, ooh, little gun for little girl, you know? And he goes, do you know what she's holding?
Nope.
And I go, am I supposed to? He goes, I don't remember her name. He goes, can she try out your gun? And she was so serious. She's like, yeah, sure, no problem. Bitch, the kickback on that thing, my shoulder, I was like, oh my God. I literally put it down so quickly. I looked at her, I was like, I'm just going to leave this here. I'm going to walk away. It was the most, I mean, I've shot a rifle one time and that was very intense. I kept like, every time it happened. But that little tiny peanut gun, oh my God.
Not the peanut gun.
The power on that thing. I was like, all right, no one's
Hello?
fucking with you. She's like, I'm small but mighty.
Absolutely.
For her and her small gun. I'm like, get it, boo. I was like, you fucking kidding me? I'm scared. I'm scared. Oh my gosh. Well, that was you're gonna have to keep us updated on that one. I really need you to keep us updated on Son of Sam.
Oh yeah.
We can't forget about that.
I did forget.
I
See?
didn't.
That's how quickly I forget.
You can't tell me that like a serial killer might be on the loose in a couple months.
On the loose? Do you think he would start? Well, I don't know. He found Jesus. He's like a Christian now. He's going to church and shit.
Again, you say anything to get on parole. But like, wasn't it? Didn't you say 2002? He said he's like, oh, I shouldn't be let out.
Yeah, he's like, don't let me out.
Yeah, and now all of a sudden you found Jesus.
I don't know, anything to fight that talking dog. The dog was telling him to do. Yeah, it was Satan talking through the dog or whatever. It's just a talking dog. Like what? The what now?
The dog was talking to me. No, he wasn't.
No.
You
Who told you to
you
do what now?
sniffed something. You took drugs.
Maybe.
I was talking about this with one of my clients, and she's from Brooklyn,
Mm-hmm.
and she was like, oh, I was like alive and well and living when this man was.
Yeah, it
running
wasn't
around.
that long
It's
ago.
like, get the fuck out of here.
It was like in the 70s. Did she dye her hair blonde because he was going for brunettes?
She is a blonde. Funny enough, but she is a blonde.
Yeah, he was going for brunettes specifically. So, a lot of
we're in the
ladies.
clear.
Yeah, a lot of ladies were like dyeing their hair. It's like, we need to be double processed platinum blondes.
Yeah, platinum cards everywhere. Everyone gets one.
Pretty
You get
much.
a platinum card. You get a platinum card. No one's dying today. Look at us, hairdressers saving the world.
We save the world in more ways than one, my dear.
Facts.
All right, this is what I wanted. What did I want to talk about? Oh, a little hot take. And I probably should have put like a question up on our Instagram. I did not because I don't know why.
You know what? I don't want to hear from you guys. I want to talk.
I had asked Linda this last week. I'm like, think about it. Think about what your hot take is. And I find that when I ask these questions to people, like
They're very thought-provoking.
like not just you, if I ask anybody, like, you know how like someone could ask you like, oh, like what's your favorite restaurant? All of a sudden you forget any restaurant that you've ever
Every
attended
single restaurant I've ever been to in my life.
your whole life. And you're like, I don't eat food. You know what I mean? But like when I ask questions like this, like people are like I don't know. Like there's things that you think about, not even on like on a daily basis, but just like on a regular basis where they're not sitting in your mind all day, every day, but they'll cross it.
Yeah.
And you think a thing or like something.
You plant a seed.
Yeah. Like, or you see something that's happening. You're like, oh, like I wouldn't do it like that. Or like, I don't think that or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me is like what a hot take is. And I know I kind of started explaining to you what my hot take was. And mine is being selfish.
Yes.
Is not a bad thing to me. And I really find that people use that term, like you're being selfish, or that's so selfish of you, or don't be selfish. They use that term very manipulatively.
Yeah.
To get you to do things in a way that would serve them rather than honoring what's best for yourself.
For sure.
So that is the reason why I think being selfish is not a bad thing. Obviously, if you're going out of your way to like hurt other people, or if you're trying to fuck someone else up just because for whatever reason, that's like a different thing. But like
you're saying like selfish with your time.
With your time.
And your mental, like protecting your mental.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Or just if you want something, or if you want to do something, if you're feeling like, oh, like I would want to like for example, there was like a person had flown in and they don't live here all the time, and someone else wanted to hang out with them. They're like, oh, I would like to kind of just like do something with just you. And another person was like, well, that's really selfish because she only has this much time. And you're like, why can't I just want to hang out with somebody without you being there?
Right.
And it wasn't even like that they said, oh, you can't be there. It was more like, well, I kind of just like wanted to hang with you. Like, can I get an hour of your time or like whatever?
Yeah.
And I realized that like when people are not living so close to you and you don't have, easy access to them, that it's kind of like you do what you can when you can.
Yeah.
But it caused like this big stir, and there's like this big divide, and everyone was fighting, and everyone was
Oh my God.
it was like a whole thing. And I'm like, you're not being selfish. And the way that they used you're being selfish is so manipulative. Like I can't even take it.
It's also immature. There's like this whole immaturity level, because when you are mature, you would understand why that would make sense.
Yeah.
if you're immature, you can be, oh my God, wait. It's so stupid. That's
No, because,
how old are these people?
we're all in our 30s.
Grow up.
Or well, I'm not in my 30s anymore, but like people that are in their 30s and even older that are a part. We're a part of this entire thing, and I always get dragged into the middle of because I'm like such like a neutral party at this point that I just like like whatever. It's like let people do whatever they got to do, and like I don't really argue. Like I'm in the like the let them era. Like if they don't want to hang out, that's cool. If they're not gonna contact me, like I'm not chasing after anyone. I'm not going to beg you to hang out with me. Not that I don't care. Like, and if you want to hang, like I'm here. But like I'm not gonna be running after anybody anymore. It's just I'm here. I've made my intentions known to anybody that's close to me. Like they know exactly how I feel. Like I don't really sugarcoat or hide anything from anybody. So like I'm here. But yeah, I think that's probably part of my selfishness. It's like I'm not going to be doing that anymore. I'm not going to be making plans with somebody to have them cop out on me, or I'm not going to ask them to do something to have them blow me off or disappoint me. I'm just not going to give anyone like an opportunity to do that. And I guess that's also, that's part of me being selfish. I'm looking out for myself,
and your mental.
Yeah, my feelings. Like I'm just not gonna do it.
I literally just said this today, where like I've always been the yes man, right? Where I will cancel my own plans because I don't want to inconvenience somebody or like do something. Where I am now, I don't give a fuck.
No.
A flying fuck. If someone's like, you're being selfish, and I'll be like, if you think that that's selfish, you can quite literally fuck off.
Fuck all the way off.
Fuck all the way off. You know what I mean? Like, there is something so beautiful about being selfish with your time.
Yeah.
Like that piece of like having some alone time, having your own space, being able to just be with yourself. I think that also comes with a level of comfort, right? With yourself.
Yeah.
Once you get to a comfortable level with yourself and your thoughts where you're able to be alone with your own thoughts, that's when that time becomes even more precious.
Yep.
And when somebody doesn't respect that, you don't want them in your life. I mean, obviously, like there's some people you just can't get rid of, right? So you adapt. You change the relationship dynamic between them, right? Like I've had friends where they're just far too needy for me. You know what I mean? And I'll keep you here now, but you don't understand what my space means. So now I've pushed you even further. You know what I mean? It's like you kind of box people in because it's like, you're a little out of control. You know what I mean? Let me just put a box over you. Just contain you real quick because I need this space.
It's like a hierarchy or like not a hierarchy. It's like tiers. It's like friend tiers. Like, these people are for this or these people are for that. And then there's like, you're not going to ever say, you can't hang out with us.
Yeah.
You'll just be like, maybe not so often.
Yeah. And the other thing too is like, I can't understand the other side of that. Like somebody who's like, no, being selfish with your time is terrible. Like I can't see that side.
Because those are the people that want to use your time strictly
for their benefit.
To benefit them, yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
And those are also people that you don't want to really keep around.
Yeah. Like there's been times, right, where I'll play one scenario where I think the being selfish with your time sometimes needs to be put aside. When you're like in a relationship and you don't ask for things very often and you say to your significant other, like, we really need to go on this double date.
Okay.
I need you to meet this person. It's really important to me. They're really important in my life. And like, I would like for them to like finally meet you, X, Y, and Z, whatever. And day of, that person doesn't really want to go anymore because they're just like not feeling it and they're whatever. Or, they're running super late on purpose because they just like kind of don't want to be there. I think that's probably when I would look at that and be like, you're being like selfish in a way that's like not cool.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because if somebody was like, hey, I don't ask for something very often, but I would really, really appreciate it if you did X, Y, and Z in a relationship level.
Yeah.
I think very rare instances where I'm like, all right, this isn't about me anymore. This is about my significant other more than me.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to push those feelings aside. That's the only time when I can see it play, like being able to play devil's advocate. Everything else, I can't.
No, because I'm like a fan of canceling plans. I don't want to go.
See, I don't like canceling them, but if they get canceled, I'm okay
you're always
with
like,
it.
yes.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Always like low key hoping that someone will be like, it's gotten pretty windy. Maybe we
Literally.
should stay home. I'd be like, absolutely.
I'm like, the wind's picked up. I gotta stay home. Are you kidding me? If it's raining, I'm like, no, thank you.
Do you know what's so funny? I met somebody for, it wasn't really dinner. Like we kind of just like hung out at the bar and like ate some food and had a couple of drinks. And I was like looking outside. I'm like, okay, it's not raining. I'll go. Right.
Yeah.
And then I get to the place and I'm like sitting in there and I look outside. It's pouring. I'm like, and he goes, I thought you were going to cancel. I go, honestly, if it was raining like this when I was leaving my house, I've been like, sorry, I can't make it. He's like, you're a dick. I'm like, no.
And you're like, I'm just being honest.
I really am, because honestly, like
when it's raining like that, I'm not myself.
No.
I want to cuddle and just stay in bed and like watch a movie.
I also don't really want to ever leave my house. That's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I think once the weather cracks, you're going to be a little different.
Probably. Like I was on my way home from work the other night and someone's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, I'm heading home. And they're like, do you want to not head home? I'm like, I always want to go home. Like, that's not a question. I always want to go home. So no.
You're like, what do you mean no?
Do I want to not? No, I want to go home. I want to go
Unless you
to
already
I want to go to my house.
have the pizza in hand and it's waiting for me and it's nice and warm and toasty and waiting for me.
I'm going home.
I'm not going home.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
It needs to be the easiest thing.
Yeah.
Between me leaving work and me getting to your house has to be the easiest thing ever.
Yeah, no. I was like, I'm going home. And then they turn it around. They're like, can I come over? I'm like, look at you asking if you can come over.
You're like,
of course you can.
Of course you can't.
Of course you can. You can come over.
No, stay your ass home. No, you can't.
But the whole like, do you want to not? No, I want to go home.
Yeah,
that's where I want to go.
You're like, what?
There's never a time that I don't want to be home.
Nice try.
Sorry.
Nice try. And no, you can't come over.
Oh, yeah, I'll let him come over. All right, now let's go with you, Linda. What is your hot take? What's your hot take?
A couple.
Okay, I like
two.
couples.
Couple, as in literally two. I had more, but I think these are the ones that I want to like stick with. My first one is. My second one, I think it's gonna be a thought-provoking one. But
okay.
The first one is being older is a lot better than being younger.
Okay, I totally agree with that.
That is my hot take, right? Because like I'm the oldest of all my cousins, right? So everybody under me, and we're talking like 15, 16 grandchildren just on my dad's side, right? Like
Oof.
I'm the oldest, right? So like they look at me and they're like, I'm the older cousin now, right? Like I'm the older one because I'm almost 30.
Yeah.
I might as well just start saying I'm 30. And we were diving into like this conversation about the year 2044, you know what I mean? We're like, oh my God, that's like in 20 years. And then one of my little cousins was like, oh my God, you're going to be 50. I was like, oh my God.
I mean, 50 is the new 30.
And then like all this commotion started happening. It was a lot of commotion that started happening in the group chat about like my younger cousins being like, you know, so mean towards us that are going to be like older and stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute. First of all, why is it always like these like early 20s that try and bully like the late 20s, early 30s, like into us feeling like we're old because we're fucking not.
Nope.
You're young and stupid, but nice try, because I was young and stupid. So my hot take is very much me being 30 is so much better than when I was 21. I'm way smarter. I don't fucking take shit from nobody.
Yep.
I really don't. I'm no longer a yes man. I will stay my ass home if I want to. I pay my own bills.
Yep.
I got nobody to depend on. I don't have to take care of anybody. I have to think about myself. And I have money. Being 30 is so much better than being 21.
Yes.
And that is my hot take, is being older is better than being younger. The only thing that I must say, the only difference is, one, my body does not metabolize alcohol the same.
No, it's straight up not a good time.
No, but I am enjoying not consuming alcohol like that anymore. It's been like kind of nice. My mind's been it's been nice because then I look back on my early 20s and I was like, I was drunk 90% of my 20s, like just drunk. And I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Now I have it under control and it's kind of nice. And there's a lot of things that like crack when I get out of bed. Yeah. There's like a lot of cracking. I was at yoga the other day and it was a full class and we were in a plank position. Okay. And we had to pike up into like the downward dog. And as soon as that happened, you see my ankles. Woo. Nobody else's ankles did shit. Nobody else's ankles made noise. And I was like, all right, I'm just let that slide, you know? And then we had to get into our, back into like our plank position. All of a sudden my hip fucking went. I was just cracking. And I was the only one in the entire class just fucking cracking. And then when we had to do like the little twist, my back went.
Oh, I love that. Must have felt so good though.
It did. It was like,
yes,
the things that bring the things that bring me joy is like my back cracking so nicely, so easily.
I love that.
But yeah, that's the only thing that I would complain. But everything else, that is for sure, that's my first hot take, is being older is better than being younger. For sure.
I'm into it. I like it.
Yeah. Second one.
Okay.
I don't know how to phrase this. A long distance relationship is best.
Okay. I don't
know how to phrase it. I'm not going to say it's better than a regular conventional relationship, but there is something about a long distance relationship that I've realized, obviously being in a long distance relationship, I was like, I think I like it. It's actually really, really nice. If like it can work, I guess. Like a long distance relationship can work, but my hot take is really long distance relationships are better.
Okay. Are you officially in a long distance relationship? Okay. See, this is breaking news, people. This is the first time hearing of this. I know
a full-fledged long distance relationship.
Full-fledged long distance relationship. Okay, so I think at some point I should probably meet this person.
Yeah, probably. But I found that like with a long distance relationship, it kind of forces you to have a lot of these very serious conversations pretty early on, right? Okay. Because it's like if you want to close that gap, like that distance gap, and take the next step with like moving in with each other, that's a huge step in your relationship because one of you is like leaving everything behind. You know what I mean? So there's this huge like risk that you're taking with somebody, and that comes with a lot of making sure that you're sure of this person. Of course. If that makes sense. Yeah. And I'm not saying that all long distance relationships work, but I'm saying there's definitely some kind of psychology behind it because like I said, it kind of forces you to get to know each other on a deeper level a lot faster rather than like, oh, they're just coming over every single night and we're going to watch movies and, you know, we'll have a few topics that are like thought-provoking, or as we go through the motions, we'll learn about each other as we're, you know, like that experiment. Have you ever seen Love is Blind?
I've never watched it.
Okay, so the thing with the show is it's basically dating behind a wall. Mm-hmm. So each of you are behind a wall. You never know what they look like. You don't even know their height, nothing, skin color, nothing. You know nothing about this person, but for weeks you have to fall in love with who they are as a person, right? And so like it takes like that whole image aspect out of the relationship. As we're with a long distance relationship, it kind of takes that intimacy, that daily intimacy level out, but then it forces you to become emotionally intimate. Okay. Like that emotional intimacy has to be heightened because the physicality isn't there, if that makes sense. So then it kind of like also gets both people, like I was never really like that physical, so it kind of also helps me in a way, but there's also that level of excitement when you do see that person, right? Because it's like, oh my God, we talk all day, every day or whatever, and now I get to like hang out with you. It's almost like a little mini vacation. And when you do actually like move in together, all like the shit work has been done, and now it's kind of in play in real life, if that makes sense.
It does. I mean, I like the idea of not having somebody in my face at all.
Well, so that was the other thing too, like space.
Yeah, give me my.
Like,
I like having my space.
Yeah, and especially if the other person also enjoys their space, it's interesting because this topic of like, do you remember a while ago when we did the episode of embarrassing sex stories?
Yes.
And I was like, there needs to be a level of mystery, and there is. There's this huge aspect, this level of mystery when you're in a long distance relationship.
Yeah.
Right, because you're not in each other's fucking mouths all day, every single day, and doing everything together. You're very much doing your own thing, and I think the other partner also understands that them doing their own thing is important too. So like, there's that level of like, you know, going back to like your selfishness, like there's compromise, right?
Mhm.
But for the most part, it's like, this is my life. I'm integrating it into yours, but this is my life and that's yours. You know what I mean? Like there's that level of mystery that kind of maintains, which is very healthy in a relationship. I don't know, but that's my hot take.
I like that. I would be inclined to agree with you. The only thing that I would be nervous of is if it ever does get to the point where you are moving in and they're always around, then like what happens?
Well, I think
You're
that's
always
why
you're always here and like what?
Well, I think that's why it's very important for that person to like continue doing their things. Like I said it once before. I was like, I need a person in my life who has hobbies.
Yeah.
Like if I'm dating somebody and they're like, and I'm like, oh, what do you do for fun? They're like, nothing. I go to work and I go home. Like, bye.
Yeah.
That's a huge red flag for me. I mean, there's some people like, I like to be home too. And it's like, there are people who are very like codependent who cannot do long distance relationships.
Yeah.
But I think for somebody who kind of like, I think that also comes with like age, right?
Mhm.
Like I definitely wasn't like this at 24, 23 years old. But like now with my life, it's nice to know that this person full-fledged has their own fucking life. You know what I mean? Like, even if we do move in together, like my partner specifically, like he has so many things that he does on a daily basis. And he like, even with his like job. So it's like that, it won't change.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and same with me. For me, it's like finding new, what I do here, new things over there or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? So it's like making sure that your partner has hobbies and things to do and isn't fucking up your ass all the time is very important. And having your own bedroom, not to sleep in, but like I
Having your own space.
Yeah.
Having your own space. Like
I think
whether
having your own space is so important. I've actually had this conversation a few times with a few different people who actually do have their own spaces
yeah.
in their apartments. Like, oh, we have a 2-bedroom, but like that one bedroom is where my vanity is. That's where I get ready in the morning. And I like, you know what I mean? Like all my clothes are in there. Like I have like my mirror in there. Like that's where I get ready in the morning. That's where like if he's playing video games in like the bedroom, which I would never date somebody who's playing video games, but that's besides the point. I will go into my room and I'll read my book. You know what I mean? Or if he's in the living room, like I'll go into my room and do whatever I got to do.
Yeah.
Or my office is in there. So it's like, I think having your own space within the space is also very important, but it's very doable. I think I've come to a point where I'm like, this works significantly better for me than somebody who's too close to me.
Yeah.
It's very strange. And I never thought that I'd ever say that because I swore that I would never do a long distance relationship because of that. Like, I'm like, how does that work? That can't work. That's so hard. And it is hard.
Yeah. Well,
But
I mean,
you get through all like the really, really hard shit. You're forced to do it so early.
but I think with any relationship, like not just relationship, like romantic relationships, any relationship that you have in your life is going to require work. There's always going to be like a part where you're going to have to either check in or have a conversation that you probably don't want to have. Any relationship, family, friends, all of that, anything that's in your life that you want to keep in your life is going to be work because, you know, fostering relationships like in your 20s or like in your teens, like when you're out, you're getting fucked up and these are like the good time friends that you're just going to go do that kind of shit with. Maybe you don't have to foster those relationships, but like the ones that go deeper, the ones that actually have substance are going to require
For
work.
sure. And your lives really change. You know what I mean? Like people move away. I had like something hit me today while I was driving because I was with one of my best friends yesterday and a few days before my sister was talking about like wanting to move somewhere warmer.
Mm-hmm.
And then my best friend was like, oh yeah, I definitely want to move somewhere like different. And it hit me today. Like having those conversations like brewing in my head, I was like, wow. Like I've always said to myself, like, okay, this is fun right now. It's not always going to be like this. Let me enjoy it while it lasts because it's not always going to be like this. And then it hit me. I was like, oh, wow, this is it's a continuous change. There's always going to be continuous change. And, watering those friendships, watering those relationships is an ongoing thing. But people's lives change. Like, I have a friend who's really upset with another friend right now because he's very much stuck in like old high school ways where that's what our friendship was. Like, where are we going out tonight? What are we doing? But like the other half of us are like settling down and having kids and getting married and like doing real, like different things.
Yeah.
Just different. Like our lives are just different. And I think they get stuck on like, oh, but it used to be, it's not that anymore. You have to water this relationship differently now. It's no longer like this, oh, like, what are we doing this weekend? It's very much like, okay, you've had a really long week with work. I could see how you don't want to like drive so far. I'll come to you. Let's have like a little, like, I do that with my best friend. If I know she's having like a really tough time with work or whatever, I will literally go get groceries or she'll go get groceries and I will cook her dinner in her kitchen just to hang out with her.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's what you got to do. So like, you just got to water the relationships differently.
Yep.
Than what they used to be. But yeah, that's my second hot take.
I like those hot takes. We've got some good ones.
Yeah. Those are my hot takes. But yeah, definitely like the being older is better than being younger. Definitely I was like, for sure.
I think that's going to be something that your younger cousins are going to really resonate with in 10 years. They're going to be like, you were right.
I literally said that to them. I was like, you guys do know that you guys get older too, right?
Yeah.
Like you guys grow. You guys get older.
I honestly feel like I apologize to anybody that I called old when I was like 20 years old, when they were 30. Bitch.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Do you know how much it hurts when like I put on a skirt? I was at my favorite boutique and I put on a jean skirt that I thought was cute as fuck.
Uh-oh.
I loved it. And I walked out and I'm really, really close with the girl who works there, like the manager.
Mm-hmm.
Love her. She's always honest with me. She doesn't just try to sell me something just to like make $1 off.
Yeah, they're good. They're good about that.
And she sees the jeans skirt and she just goes, mm-mm,
uh-uh.
mm-mm. And I go, you don't like it? And she's like, I mean, no. And I was like, wait, why? And she goes, I was like, is it not age appropriate?
I'm dead.
And she goes, no. And I was like,
oh my God, I aged out of clothing.
Okay, there's a bridge close. I'm just going to go jump off of it. Goodbye. But it was just like so funny in that moment. I was like, oh my God, I have to start dressing appropriately. It's like, fuck.
I think I'm the wrong person to ask about that because I do not dress my age in any way, shape,
well,
or
apparently,
form.
You're not supposed to be wearing jean skirts, bitch. No jean skirts this year. Fucking hey.
No, I don't think I own a jean skirt.
I used to back in the day.
Yeah, no,
when I was a stick.
Not the
now
stick.
I sneeze and something might come out. I
I'm
told
dead.
you she has to go all the way down to my ankles.
We need a little
Otherwise,
modesty.
I'm not comfortable. It's not even that. That's the other thing with
You'll
age.
be tugging on
I
it.
need to be comfortable.
Yeah.
I can't wear something that's uncomfortable.
No, because then you're touching it all.
No, and then I
like,
gotta move it, and then I'm like, and then I'm self-conscious. I'm like, is anything like sticking out? Like, is anything scrunched up? Like, no, I don't want to deal with that. I want to be as comfortable as possible. I stick with the basics, jeans, and some cute shoes, and I call it a day.
I don't even do cute shoes anymore, love. I'm boots or sneakers.
Or I'm staying home.
Yeah, I'm mostly just staying home.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly that.
You're like, actually pajamas and slippers.
Yeah, that seems like the best move.
Yeah.
That's the move.
Well, this was an amazing episode. This felt like
We're back. We're back.
We're back and better than ever.
So I want to pose a question for next week's episode. The next one we're going to record is going to be our mental health check-in, which, again, we're going to start doing once a month. And I'm going to start researching some questions that you can ask yourself to just check in with yourself, or if you feel like you need to check in with, a significant other or a friend or a family member or whatever, just things to kind of keep the communication open between everybody.
Yeah.
And I wanted to also touch on another subject in our mental health episode, and it is, how do you show someone that you love them? Now, we all know that there is a book.
Or the love languages.
So there's 5 love languages, right? I'm not sure how much I agree with the book. I'm with the separate love languages. Like, I feel like it's a little bit more complex than that. And I do have a little bit of beef with the person that wrote it. So we'll get into that next week. But I want to ask, and we're going to put it up on our Instagram. And I wonder if we can do it on our TikTok. I bet we could.
I don't see why not.
Asking a question. I just want to know, like, how you guys show love to other people. And then I want to know, like, how you receive it. Because, like, obviously people are doing different things to, like, show love. Like, I know for me.
This is for sure going to be that could be a whole entire episode in and of itself.
That's what I'm saying.
It's so loaded.
It really, really is. And I want to get everyone's, I want to get as many people as I can. I want to get their answers in so I can kind of, I don't know, maybe do like a poll, maybe do like a little graph. I don't know, where I can kind of like look and see, because like I know how I show my love to people, because I personally have a lot of trouble, I guess, vocalizing for the most part, even though like I've been working on it. Like I can say,
I think you're good at vocalizing it. I think you have a hard time. It's like me, like where I can like show you love in like, oh, you need something, I'll go get it for you.
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
But like, what was it, like randomly? I think it was like a couple months ago. I just randomly hugged you and I was like, I feel like you need a hug.
Like,
and I was like, I don't even remember the last time I hugged you. You know what I mean? Because like we just don't show love like that.
Yeah.
And even if somebody were to hug me, I'm like, why are you touching me?
Yeah.
And it's like, because I love you. I'm like, but you don't need to touch me. You know what I mean? I think everybody shows and receives love. There's so many fucking layers to it.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So that's going to be our next episode. So if
just us with our fake PhDs in
yes, with our armchair psychology here, my trickle down
armchair psychology. I like that.
Or my trickle down therapy. Hello, we're doing all of these things, and
I love that.
Obviously, I don't have a PhD. I'm not a doctor. These are just things that I observe.
Take what we say with a grain of salt, please and thank you.
We're just trying to be like, well, I say things like this because I want to hear back, and I want to know if I'm an insane person for thinking what I think, or like even my hot take. Like, if you guys think I'm an asshole for thinking what I think, I want to hear. Like, I'll debate all day long. Yeah. And I'll defend like what I think not to the death, but like I'll go down with it.
Yeah.
I like having these kinds of conversations, and I like knowing things. Yeah. So like I want to hear from everyone. And again, I'll put the questions up on our TikTok and on our Instagram. So make sure that you're following us on the DL.pod on Instagram and on TikTok.
And make sure you are following us on Spotify and Apple Music too. And please just give us a rating. Because it does help.
It does. It helps in this world.
Yes. And we appreciate you sticking with us up until now.
Yes. Also, there are full episodes up on YouTube. I think there's 4.
Okay. Nobody ever talks about how long these episodes take to upload. Like I started uploading like this week's episode at 9 p.m. last night. You know when it finally uploaded? 10 a.m. this morning. 9 p.m. So maybe 13 hours.
Maybe we need to get better Wi-Fi.
I don't know, but my brother goes, he's like, you're such a fucking donkey.
Donkey?
Like, he called me a donkey. He's like, I think it was a donkey. Or he called me a monkey. Something.
Oh my God.
He was like, you need an Ethernet cord. I was like, what the fuck is that? And he was like, oh my God.
Tell him to send it to you for your birthday.
I was like, clearly, no, I think what he was trying to say is because we're doing it from a laptop, that's why it's taking so long.
What else would you do it from?
A computer.
A desktop?
Like a tower computer.
Not the tower.
Yeah,
is that still a thing?
My brother built one. That's how he games with. You can't game on a laptop. You have to game on a computer.
It's
like a whole thing.
I don't do those things.
Fucking nerds.
Fucking nerds.
But yeah, they're up though. So
anyways,
nobody come for me.
We have full episodes up on YouTube. You can see how silly we are in person on the tube.
On the tube. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with us.
Yes.
Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.